Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel, where I have today for you another model railway review video. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the all new Bachmann Class 47. In the autumn of 2021, Bachmann announced an all-new tooling of the Class 47. These models are going to cover all the different variations of these locomotives, as well as all the major liveries. In 2021, Bachmann announced 5 different versions. D1565 in the BR two-tone green livery, 47012 in BR blue, 47004 in BR Rail Freight Construction livery, 47375 Tinsley Traction Depot in the BR Rail Freight European Distribution livery, and finally 47828 in the Intercity Swallow livery. And in Bachmann's Winter 2022 announcements, Bachmann have announced further versions of this iconic machine. In hindsight, for Bachmann to come out and retool the Class 47, it wasn't really unexpected. It was bound to happen at some point. And I'll be honest, when they did first announce it, I didn't really give any thought into planning to get one, because I already own several Class 47s already. But I was drawn into getting 47828 in the Intercity Swallow livery, because I have longed to get a Class 47 in the Intercity livery. And so I thought, after seeing pictures of it on the internet, I thought, you know what, my wallet can be opened and I'm going to treat myself. And so this morning, on the day when I'm filming this video, we took a trip up to Footplate in Kidderminster, and I bought this model. This is the analogue model, which is the one I need really for my layout, because my layout is DC. And I'm going to get this model out of the box, we're going to get it down on the layout, and we're going to have a look at it in detail. So here we have the model unboxed and down on the layout, and the first thing to notice, as I always do when doing these videos, is that there isn't any quality control issues anywhere at all, which is great to see, because when we're spending all this money on these models, we don't just pay for accuracy or the detail or even innovation, we pay for the quality as well. And this is being produced in Bachmann's usual high quality top-notch finish that we expect to see. It runs smoothly straight out of the box, and really is a beautiful runner as well. And you also get working lighting as well. You've got the headlights and the tail lights, and you also get a switch underneath the fuel tank, so that you can turn either the tail or the headlights on or off if you don't have DCC, that is. And that's a lovely little feature to have. The engine room also has lighting, but that will not work on analogue. That only works if you have DCC. But to be honest with you, I don't really mind that. Now we move on to the detail. First of all, I will cover the accessories that you do get with the model. They are supplied in the accessory bag. There are a wealth of these to fit to the buffer beam, and you can either fit them or not. They're entirely optional. But what you do get in this accessory bag are some air pipes, vacuum pipes, dummy screw-link couplings, steam heat pipe, electric train heating socket, electric train heating cable and equipment, and snowplows. Now, if you are going to fit any of the buffer beam detailing, you will need to do some research. This particular loco, 47828 with the high intensity headlight, would have electric train heating. So this is where you'll need to fit the electric train heating socket, cable and equipment to this particular loco. With this model, the accuracy gets a big tick. The overall shape, proportions and even the detail have been captured spot on. Bachmann really have hit the nail on the head with this model. It's like the real thing has been shrunk down to the size of a 00 gauge model, and it really is a superb looking machine. I've always loved the Class 47s. I grew up with them when I was a kid. They were very commonplace. They pretty much ran just about everywhere, and they were very versatile as well. No matter what you threw at these locomotives, they would do it. And it really is a testament that these are one of the few remaining classic traction that you still see in service on the main line today. These locomotives really are iconic. Moving to the buffer beam, and like with the prototype, the lamp irons are correctly fitted to the buffer shanks. Also on the buffer shanks you have the oleo that's been cast onto them, which you can see in this photo. From this angle in particular they are hard to see, but they are definitely there. You also have sprung metal buffers as well, and what I particularly like about the buffers as well is the little holes on the buffers, and it's little details like that that were absent from the older tooling Class 47, and it's details like that that are great to see, and it's fantastic. And again, that just adds to the accuracy of the model. Moving to the face of the locomotive, you've got the separately fitted handrails, and they've been picked out and painted white, which makes them really stand out. You've got a separately fitted lamp iron as well on the front. You have the warning signs, which have been very crisply and well applied. And you've also got the window wipers, which these are the single arm ones, and the detail on those I think looks fantastic. And you've also got glazing in all the windows as well, and the glazing has been very well applied. Also, can you get a look at the headlights on this locomotive? Just look at the detail on them. They actually look like the real thing, and that is just fantastic. Top marks to Bachmann for that. On the framework, just under the cab, we have use only R5 brake blocks crisply printed onto the frames there. It's not just the accuracy or the quality that's gone into the model, but it's the attention to detail as well. We have separately fitted handrails going down on each side of the door, and they've been painted as well. Now we move on to the cab interior detail. Now I'm not going to take the body off to show you the cab interior detail, but all the detail inside the cab has been painted. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to show you this Bachmann stock photo from their website of the cab interior. And you can see with the detail that's gone into that, that's just perfection. And it really always is great to see the detail painted on these models, because it brings them more to life, I think. And it really makes them more realistic looking. And what I especially love with the cab interior is the detail, such as for example the notes that's been applied just on the end of the cab, which you can just about see there through the window, which you can see on certain angles such as this. And again, it's just the attention to detail like that, it's just superb. It's details like that that were missing from the older tooling Class 47. Bachmann has also gone to the trouble of fitting detail inside the engine room. They didn't need to do that, but they have, and that just looks stunning. On the bogies we've got footsteps, we've also got the axle boxes and springs, and we have pipework on the bogies, not moulded, separately fitted. And also just look at the detail that we get on the fuel tank and the battery boxes, especially with the fuel tank dial. And also you've got the pipework as well that you see that's been separately fitted and painted that you see under the loco's body, and that just looks stunning, especially right down to the rivet detail on the fuel tank. What Bachmann has done with this model, and as per the prototype with this particular one, 47828, is that this loco has a cut cab, as you can see. Moving to the roof detail, we have the boiler port that's been blanked off on this loco, as you can see, right next to the fans. And under the roof grills we have fans. And on the Deluxe fitted models, they rotate, but more on that a bit later. And also the fans have been painted very nicely as well. And I do particularly love the mesh grills as well, over the fans. And that detail looks superb. Now just quickly moving on to the number 1 cab end. And as you can see, the marker lights on this end are different, as opposed to the number 2 cab end where the headlights are actually flushed. Now, I have seen the real 47828 on a number of occasions, as you'll notice from my real railway videos. I've been going out filming, whether it's been rail tours on the network or going down heritage lines, because this channel isn't all about model railways. Model railways isn't my only hobby. I also go out filming trains as well, that's my other passion. And I've also been studying the photos to check this, and the marker lights on both ends are the same, they're not different. Whether that was the case in BR days with Intercity, I don't know. I've managed to find one photograph of this loco when it was in service with Intercity, being driven by the number 1 cab end, which is where the fans are. And from looking at that photo, the headlights don't seem to look like as they are in the model, as you see them now. But whether that was because the lights were on, which they possibly might be from looking at the photo, it might be hard to tell. But then, to be fair, with some Class 47s, they did have the marker lights like they are on the model as you see them. But I don't think this particular locomotive has. It certainly doesn't have it like that today. But whether it did when it was with BR, I don't know. But that's not going to be too much of a biggie if it's not really, because this is the end where the stock is going to be coupled up to. So you're never going to really notice this end anyway. Now we come on to the livery application. And for me, the application that's been applied to the livery really hits the spot. They've captured the livery amazingly. And the livery's been captured very authentically and accurately too, and I should think so because they've used BR specification colours. The livery has no blemishes or any imperfections anywhere to be seen. It's a very nice even coat of paint that we expect to see. You've got the slate grey plus the white and then the red stripe. I've always loved the Intercity Swallow livery because I've always thought that the Swallow livery looks amazing. The only thing that this locomotive needs now is a matching rake of Mark II coaches, which is something that's got to be done. I've got Intercity livery Mark IIIs plus Virgin Mark IIIs and Mark IIs, so I think I need a set of Mark IIs now in Intercity livery. I don't know when that's going to happen. It will do in time, but until then this loco is going to have to pull some of my other stock, which is not too much of a problem because I've always felt that this livery, no matter what stock is coupled behind it, doesn't look bad. But that's just my own personal opinion. The loco's running number and the tops diagram have also been very nice and crisply applied. The Intercity logo has been very well and crisply applied. The style of the font is correct to the real logo, and then of course for the livery you have the all-important swallow, which again has been so well and crisply applied. Now at this point I would come on to my conclusion for the model, but before I do that there's something else to talk about, because these models also have innovation. However, they're only exclusive to the Deluxe models. You have Deluxe sound, you also have rotating roof fans, and you also have tinted windscreen. Now, for me personally, I can live without those features, but it is good to see that Bachmann are innovating, and that's always good to see on the models. Although one could argue, do we really need these innovations? Because undoubtedly, with the amount of money that Bachmann have spent on tooling these models, those innovations have, dare say, increased the cost. But I would like to have seen these innovations carried over to the standard sound and analogue models, because those innovations, you can only have those innovations with the deluxe models. You know, I would like to have seen myself, I have seen, for example, the tinted windscreen in photos, and I can say, from a first impression, it doesn't look to be quite to scale, to be honest. But I would like to have seen it for myself in person, to have seen what it's like, and I would have liked to have had that feature carried over to the analogue models, or even the standard sound fitted models. I would also like to have seen the rotating fans as well. You know, what they could have done is, with the mechanism, surely they could have fitted a little motor that works on analogue but also DCC as well, so you can that way control it, whether you want it to be on or off, perhaps. So it would have been nice if those innovations had been carried over to the other models, the standard sound and analogue models. But then, not having those features, do they really detract from the model? Not really, to be honest. This is still a stunning model, regardless whether it comes with or without those features. So that brings me on to my conclusion for the new Bachmann Class 47. Is this model worth buying? Absolutely 100%. I know some people might be thinking £203 for the analogue model, or even if it's just over £200, bit more for the standard sound fitted model, or over £300 for the deluxe model. Some people might be thinking it's a lot of money for a loco like this, but at the end of the day, you're paying that money for a top quality model that's not only well detailed, but it's well made as well. There's no quality issues anywhere at all. It's straight out of the box, the model that we expect it to be. And it's just an overall thing of beauty, I think. And it has got some great innovations as well. Not on the analogue models or the standard sound. And I still wish that Bachmann had carried those features over onto the analogue and standard sound models, the DCC sound ones, because I would like to have seen those innovations for myself in person. But I can still live without them, and regardless, you know, whether you get those innovations or not, it doesn't matter regardless, because you're still paying the money for a top quality model. The old Bachmann Class 47 is and was a very good model, and it still is. But the new Bachmann Class 47, in my opinion, definitely has the edge. So, highly recommend the new Bachmann 47. I think it's got a worthy contender for possibly Model of the Year. It possibly might just be one of the best models in RTR that we've got. And I think it could also be a contender, possibly, for the best Class 47 on the market. So, if you want one of these and you're willing to spend the money, by all means go and get one, because I know they have been selling fast. I know that Footplates in particular doesn't have the Deluxe versions of 47828 left, and I think that just shows. So if you want one of these, whether it's the Deluxe one or the standard DCC sound or the analogue models, I'd go out and get one, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think it's money well spent. So, as always, to end the video, I'm going to do a running session with the model. And so, to finish off the video, I'm going to get this loco pulling a rake of BR Blue and Grey Mark 1s. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed. As ever, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and while you're at it, feel free to check out all the other videos that I have on the channel. But until then, take care. Goodbye for now.